What is up, people? It is me, Monster58. Welcome back to another video review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Glorio as he appeared in the Dragonball Daima anime. And I gotta say this right off the bat, if I haven't mentioned this in the other Daima videos, I highly recommend, if you haven't and you're a Dragon Ball fan, go and watch Dragonball Daima, both in the sub and the dub. I think that it's a fantastic breath of fresh air for Dragon Ball fans, especially since it's been 9 years, at least up until that, 8 or 9 years up until that, release of Daima, that we had gotten any, anime or show from Dragon Ball. So again, really nice watch. Definitely recommend it. Animation is absolutely gorgeous. Really, really enjoyed the show. But obviously, Glorio, being one of the main characters in the show, one of the new characters that we got from the Demon Realm, really explores that whole Demon Realm and really, fleshes it out and doesn't make it just, oh, it's the Demon Realm and that's all we discuss with it. So when it comes to the boxing, you obviously see the nice product shot here of Glorio as he appeared in the show. Very nice. He looks really solid there. You can see the nice text there. SH Figuarts Glorio, and then you can see, I believe, the kanji in Glorio. Then you can see the nice toy animation, Dragon Ball Daima, Tamashii Nations, as well as Bandai logos right there. You can see some more nice text here on the side, some more nice product shots here on this side. And then on the back, your obligatory product shots. Some really solid stuff. I'll tell you about this figure as we get into it, but it's pretty solid. But when it comes to the packaging, I think Bandai did a really good job, folks. And so without further ado, alright, folks, here we have the SH Figuarts Glorio as he appeared in the Dragon Ball Daima anime. And guys, I gotta say, when it comes to the actual looks of the figure, it's pretty much spot on. I don't really think that there's anything when it comes to the visuals of this figure that are wrong. So what we'll do real quick is we will put him off to the side here, and we will put a picture of how he appeared in the show. And again, when I'm looking at him and I'm looking at the actual animation model and, screenshots from the show, at the end of the day, they really did a pretty much bang-up job at getting this guy, pretty spot on to the animation model, so really happy with that. So take a look at the details here. Obviously you see the very nice face sculpt. That looks really, really good. The eyes look really nice. I think they did the eyes really, really well this time around. And the nice, very neutral expression that he had in basically through the entirety of the show. Then you have his nice hair, which also looks really great. Then his pointy ears, which are obviously a, feature of his, because when it comes to the Demon Realm, part of the, if you don't know, spoilers, sorry if I'm saying this, but if you're from the Demon Realm, your ears are pointy, which is why Supreme Kai's ears are pointy. But getting on with it, you can see the very nice, he's got like this tank top here. He's got this sort of big belt thing right here. He's got his actual belt for his holster and his gun. Then you can see his nice jacket. I do like all of the details in the jacket as well. Looks really nice, this kind of puffed up jacket. And he looks pretty solid from behind. His boots look pretty good as well. At the end of the day, when it comes to the details on this guy, I do think that they did a really solid job of just representing the character that we saw on screen. Again, when it comes to the visuals, I have no major issues. The only thing I'd say is that there is no shading. But again, it's one of those situations where I don't know how much shading would have done for this. Like, I just don't care all that much for the shading. Like, if there is, for the lack of shading, like, sure, it's a point that I'll say that I wish it did have maybe a little bit, but I'm not really all that bothered by it. So what we're going to do is we're going to set Glory off to the side here, and we're going to do a couple of size comparisons. Alrighty, folks, here he is with the Transformers Legacy United Infernac Universe Deluxe Class of Magnius. As you can see, when it comes to the actual size of him, he's about the average size of an average size Deluxe Transformer. Excuse me, an average size Deluxe Transformer is his size. And this is pretty solid. When it comes to his size, I'm not really mad about it at all, especially when you see him with the next character we're going to bring in, because that's the only other comparison we're going to do. But it fits here, especially because of one of this guy's accessories, and you'll see that in just a moment. Alrighty, folks, here he is with the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Daima, essentially Goku Mini. So when it comes to Goku and Glorio in the show, this is about how they scaled with one another. Goku is really small as a kid, and so to see him here with Glorio, these two look really, really good together. Again, from the screenshots and things I remember throughout the show, and even looking at him online again, because I haven't really watched the show since I watched it through the first time in the sub. But at the end of the day, I have no complaints about the size here. I think this is just about right. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Alrighty, folks, next, let's get into his accessories, and he comes with a nice amount of accessories. So he does come with a few face plates, so he does come with sort of a screaming, yelling face. That's pretty traditional among Dragon Ball, faces. I think it looks really, really good, though. I think they got the sculpt, the paint looks really, really nice, the mouth also looks really nice. Same thing for this one. This is more, I think, the scene when he starts to get figured out for what his actual true intentions are. I'm not going to spoil it beyond that, but you can see that he's kind of sweating there. That little sweat droplet right there looks pretty solid. Overall, it looks really nice as well. Then you do have this more smirky face with the scuffed up face. Looks really good as well. I'm quite a fan of this as well. He also comes with a Goku face. So he comes with this smiling Goku face that I really do think that Goku probably should have come with to begin with, but it does look nice, and it obviously fits Goku here, so very, very nice to get another accessory for a figure. So I'm really happy with that. Again, it looks really good. I really wish this came with like the original Kid Goku as well, but I don't think it did, so looks really solid otherwise. So after that, he comes with some hands. So he comes with a bunch of single hands. First off, he comes with like this weird hand, which you can just, I guess, use to like put on his side. I don't know, just rest his hand on his side. He comes with another hand where he has his little communicator, which is really neat that he used in the show, so you can see that. Some decent detail for how small it is, looks really nice too. Then you have a single blast effect hand, which he definitely used in the show, so really, really alright. I wish he came with the second one, but it's alright. It does look pretty nice. Then he actually comes with a gun hand, so what you can do is you can actually just remove this, but here's the actual gun itself. It does look really nice. If you remove the gun that's in his holster right now, it's just literally just this part that's fake, that end part. But yeah, this looks cool. And then for the hand, all you have to do is just kind of slot that right in like so, and bam, he's holding his gun. So that's pretty cool that you can see that as well. It fits really well too. Like it's not in there super loose or anything like that, so I'm happy with that. And then finally, he does come with two pointing finger hands. And if you don't remember, if you haven't watched the show, he has a little sparring match with Goku in which he charges up a ki blast by essentially raising his finger to the sky, kind of very similar to how Frieza ended up doing the supernova in when he killed and destroyed Planet Vegeta. But he comes with a pair of those hands, and those look pretty nice. If you want to remove his faceplate for him, you got to remove his hair, the front of his hair, like most SH Figuarts for Dragon Ball. Then remove his face, and then bam, you can just peg that on like so. And then you can put this on back like, oops, put it on like, come on. Like so. There you go. Like that. And then bam, you have a new faceplate. And then for the fists, they're the same thing as any other SH Figuarts. You remove one, you put it on. Now, when it comes to my fists, they're pretty nicely tight on there. There's nothing too crazy. But yeah, you can do this. And then obviously he can recreate that scene in the show when he's fighting Goku in their little sparring match. And you can recreate that, so that's pretty neat. When it comes to his accessories, however, I do wish he did come with a couple of extra things. Number one, when he uses his finger here, when he's charging up his ki blast, he does have like this little, obviously ball of energy that he ends up charging up. And what I'll say is that I do wish we got an effect part for maybe that ball of energy. In addition to that, I also do wish that we maybe got some like purple electric effect parts, because that's his key that he had in the show when he charged up his energy blast. He had some electric like purple electricity, and there goes the hair. I apologize for that fell. But he does have some purple electricity around, and I really do wish that they put that in as maybe an accessory as well. But for the most part, I'm okay with it. It's just, when you know how much this guy costs, for me at least, to buy, and what you can buy him on like Big Bad Toy Store and stuff, you'll understand why I do wish he came with more accessories. But again, for the most part, I do think that he comes with a good amount of stuff, so I'm not complaining too much. But when you're thinking about the price, then you can start to question whether that price is really worth it. And we'll talk about that more as we get into the conclusion in not too long. Alrighty, folks, time to get into his articulation. And the one thing I'll say about his articulation is it's good, and it's, very solid for SH Figuarts too. But when it comes to the skinnier Dragon Ball characters, I always find that the figures that they make for the SH Figuarts line end up being a little bit harder to balance. I don't know if that's just me. I'd love to hear in the comments below if you guys also have that trouble. But I always find getting these characters that are skinnier into a more neutral pose, or just poses in general, kind of ends up being a little more difficult sometimes than, a Goku or a Vegeta or a Broly or a Piccolo, XYZ, right? You got what I'm saying. But yeah, regardless, let's get into the articulation. So head's on a ball joint at the base of the neck and at the top, so you can do the giggity goo. You can go side to side here, full 360 as well. You can look down. Oh, whoops. That was... yeah, I guess you can't look down that far. Down that far, you can look up a decent bit, but it is blocked by the collar of the jacket. Full 360 at the shoulders. You can go out, you can go in. You have butterfly joints. They're kind of limited, obviously, because of the actual jacket. Then you can rotate here at the upper part of the bicep, more than 90 degrees at the elbow, and then you obviously have a little bit of wrist articulation as well. You can do a full 360 at the waist, although it does look a bit weird. You can kick forward, you can kick back, you can have a little more than 90 at the knee, probably like 95 or something. Then you have rotation here at the upper part of the thigh, and he has some ankle rocker pivot as well. So overall, when it comes to his articulation, in no way am I really all that mad about it. It's pretty solid overall. Again, I just find sometimes balancing the skinnier characters when it comes to Dragon Ball SH Figuarts end up being a little bit more difficult than usual. Alrighty, folks, for my final and concluding thoughts on the SH Figuarts Glorio as he appeared in the Dragon Ball Daima anime, this guy is pretty solid all around. The major issue I do have with this guy is going to be the price. I paid nearly $100 for this guy, and I definitely saw him. So I went to New York City recently, and I saw him in some hobby stores while I was out there. And yeah, they were charging around the same thing, especially also when I'm, comparing it to Big Bad Toy Store and stuff like that. And so the thing is I just don't know if he is worth the nearly $100 price tag. He's like base 95 for me, and then you add the tax in, and it's about 100 plus at that point. I would have agreed that he is worth that money if he came with a little bit more. And that's the issue I do have with this, the biggest issue I have with this figure overall, right? And so, I wish he came with a beam effect part with, a little bit, like a ki blast little ball that he was using in the movie, in the show when he was fighting Goku in that little sparring match they had, or the purple electricity, or both of those in that scene. I wish he did have something like that, but regardless, given everything else, he is a really good figure that represents the character at the very least. He comes with all the accessories you probably could want besides those beam effect or blast effect parts. He comes with a nice array of faces. He comes with a nice array of hands. He comes with his gun. He's very well posed, very well painted, very accurate to the show. At the end of the day, there's nothing really particularly wrong about him. He's just all right. He's just, he's a solid release at the end of the day. It's just, again, that price point is really what holds this thing back from me fully recommending it. I would say wait for a sale when it comes to this guy if you can get him for a cheaper price, because at the end of the day, I just do not think that I can, in good conscience, recommend you buy this at full price. Don't get me wrong, he is really solid, and I do like the character. I liked him in the show, but at the end of the day, I just don't think that this figure is worth that price point, despite it being a solid release. So out of a 10, I can give this guy probably between a 7 and an 8. He just doesn't hit super home. I would probably inch more towards a 7 than an 8, but again, he represents the character beautifully. He is well painted. He looks really good in terms of his visuals, and in addition to that, he comes with a nice amount of accessories. Again, I just wish he came with a bit more to justify that price tag. But if you do wish to pick this guy up, I'd pick mine up on the Big Bad Toy Store, so leave a link in the description to that. Also leave links down below to Amazon as well. If I can find him on Entertainment Earth or another website, I'll definitely link those down below so you guys can use those online retailers instead of Big Bad Toy Store. Or if you decide to hunt this guy IRL, definitely be on the lookout, and maybe like if you live in the US, like an FYE or a hobby store. Box Lunch is another store I can think of in like a mall or something like that, or just other hobby stores, like third-party toy stores that maybe get a bunch of Japanese stuff like this in. Definitely be on the lookout for stores like that, because I saw this guy plenty in New York City in a bunch of different toy stores that I went to sitting on the shelves that you could buy. But again, I wouldn't buy it at full price. Maybe wait for a sale or something like that. But yeah, best of luck hunting IRL if you decide to do it that way. So that's really it for the review. So I thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Please like, comment, rate, and subscribe. Share this video with your friends. Also follow me on the socials. Those will be linked in the description below. And with that, guys, once again, thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video review, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Hope you guys have a wonderful day. Peace.